Okay, girls. So, story time about my first time dealing with a man that's from Atlanta. And I've been wanting to tell the story time for so long, but I ain't gonna lie, I was scared for my life. And then when it happened, when I was going to tell the story time, it was still kind of like recent. So, being that a year and a few months have passed, I'm like, I don't cross paths with this nigga no more. So, it's cool. And when I say dealing with a man from Atlanta, I mean like dealing with a man that was born and raised in Atlanta. Like I've dated men like here while I've been living in Atlanta. But the niggas that I've dealt with or whatever or relationship and they was from New York or they're from Chicago or whatever. So anyway, let's get into it. So before I get into the story time, I feel like I kind of got to give y'all like a backstory how him and I like met, started talking or whatever, right? So we had been following each other on Instagram for like a little while though, but I had never really interacted with him for real. So one night we was at Onyx or whatnot. I was at Onyx with my people. I guess he had Onyx with his people, and he had seen me, and I guess I'm fucked up. So I guess like he said I made eye contact with him and I didn't speak. So he ended up texting me. He was like, "Damn, why you ain't speak or whatever?" So I'm like, "Oh, like I ain't see you." He was like, "Yeah, you looked me dead in my face, da da da, like you acting Hollywood." So we joking about that or whatever. And so then just conversing a little bit. And like the next day he had posted some food and I'm like, damn, where you get that from? That looks good. So he had said, I forget the name of the spot, but he was like, yeah, I gotta take you here. And I was like, oh yeah, for sure, like that shit look good. So anyway, so he was like, what are you doing today or whatever? And I was like, well, at the time I was at the doctor's office. I was getting my birth control shot. So I'm like, after I leave here, whatever, and I can, we can like go somewhere and go get some food. So one of the spots that he had said, it was like a brunch spot, and I'm not really like a brunch eating person. Like I'm not the egg, grits, oatmeal, waffle bitch. I don't eat. I have to be in the mood to eat that. So anyway, so I told him that or whatever. So he was like, yeah, I'll figure out like another spot we can go to. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he was like, but in the meantime, you could come to the crib or whatever. Like I can make us some lemon drops and stuff like that. I'm about to go get stuff for it now. And I got hookah. So I was like, I'm not coming to your crib. How you know I don't rob niggas? And he like, oh, like, I know you ain't on that. Like, you ain't about to rob nobody. Da, 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 da. And then, like, he go into, like, a whole little lecture about that or whatever. So, anyway, we didn't even link each other that day. And so, maybe, like, 2 weeks later, he ended up hitting me up and was like, send me your number and whatnot. So, now we texting and stuff. And so, he was like, you want to go to Cheetah tonight? So, I was like, yeah. No, he asked me, like, oh, what are you doing tonight? Whatever. So, I'm like, I ain't knowing shit. So, he's like, oh, do you want to go to Cheetah tonight? So, I'm like, yeah, for sure. So, end up going to Cheetah or whatnot. I was meeting him up there. He fucking was not there when I got there. Mind you, the nigga was fucking an hour late. If it wasn't for me not knowing people there and like I was just so caught up in like catching a vibe, like I probably would have left or whatnot. And so I texted him like, hey, like how far are you? Where you at? So he was like, oh, I'm running a little late. I'll be there in like 25 minutes. Bitch, 25 minutes led on to a fucking hour. So he ended up sending me $700 in the meantime because I guess he was late. So, bitch, I done had 3 lemon drops. I done had my food, bitch. By the time he get there, like, bitch, I'm almost done ready. I'm ready to go. So, but anyway, I knew people there. Like, if you live in Atlanta and you go to Cheetah, like, like, it's not a day that you're going to go in there and you're not going to see somebody that you know. So, I knew a few dancers there, and I also knew, like, other people that was in there. So, like, I'm getting carried away with just yapping my mouth away. So, finally, he ended up coming, whatever. Everything is going good, da-da-da. We end up going to, like, this other little lounge, whatever, smoke some hookah or whatnot. And so, fast forward, after we left the hookah lounge or whatever, I ain't gonna lie, I got a little fucked up, right? And it was a blur. Like, I don't even, remember leaving the hookah lounge. I just remember him waking me up, and I was on his couch, and he showed me a picture of my ID and my social. So, I'm like, what is that? Like, why you have a picture of my shit? And so he was like, man, somebody came in on us. So I'm just like, what the fuck do you mean somebody came in on us? Like, did you not lock your door? Like, is anything missing? Or anything like that. So now I get up because I'm looking for my purse. Bitch, I look for my purse. My purse is dumped outside of his apartment door. The bitch didn't take my bag, but she did take my fucking heels. And she took his weed, she took his pew-pew, and she took his car keys. Now, I had my social security on me because I had just applied for a renewal for my passport like 2 days before or something like that. So I had just never took it out. So I'm like, give me some damn socks because I'm ready to fucking go. I leave, didn't never talk to him no more. I didn't talk to him for a couple months. And he, mind you, he did apologize that day. But I wasn't trying to hear that shit because I was just like, this shit gives setup vibes. So, because I'm just like, how you ain't, like, you as a man, how you forget to lock your door? Who came in on us? He did say like, oh, probably my ex-girlfriend. Well, it was his ex-girlfriend because that's who sent the picture of my ID to him. she came in or whatever. I don't know if the bitch had a key or I really left his door unlocked. I don't know. But like knowing what I know now, I definitely believe that this nigga tried to set me up. So stop talking to him or whatever. And he did reach out to me like a couple months later because I was not talking to him. He ended up reaching out to me, apologizing again, was like, you know, like, I just really want to make things right with you, whatever. Like, it's not what you think, da-da-da. So I ended up agreeing to like meeting up with him. We had dinner and we talked about it, whatever. And I was just like, okay, maybe it's not that. So now, you know, now we kicking it or whatever. We, you know, cooling. But, like, I ain't really on that with him, for real. Like, we just cool. So, so by this time now, I didn't move to Miami in April last year. April or whatever. So, we talk. We ain't, like, I'm not really, like, talking to him in that way. But, like, you know, he'll text me here and there, whatever. And, like, you know, we'll talk. And so I ended up coming to Atlanta one weekend or whatnot. And he was like, you know, link up or whatever. I just got a crib, buy your old crib or whatever. Like, come to my new crib. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to check it out. Because he was talking about he wanted me to decorate his home or whatever. Because y'all know that I do interior design or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to check it out. So he ended up picking me up and I ended up going to his crib or whatever. So I want to make this very, very, very clear. This was not a person that I was dating and nothing like that. It didn't even go to that. It didn't even get there yet because our first initial date, the bullshit at the crib had happened where our shit got taken or whatever. Somebody came in on us. So we didn't even make it to that point. We honestly was just cool. Didn't talk to him for a couple months. You know, he apologized. So now, you know, we on speaking terms again or whatnot. That's it. It was nothing more. It was nothing more. So anyway, he picked me up from my crib or whatever. I go to his crib and, you know, he, you know, walks me in. We go downstairs. I'm looking around or whatever. I'm like, okay, everything is nice. Now we're heading upstairs. So as we're heading upstairs, a girl is coming downstairs. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? Whatever. She was like, what's up? So I'm just like, that's not cute or whatever. But I'm not thinking too much into it. And like initially, when I seen her, my first brain is like, it's not thinking like, oh, this is like a girlfriend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking like this is a family member or something like that, right? So, you know, he's showing me around upstairs and whatnot, and we chilling. We sit in his room or whatever, and so we talking and whatnot. So he ended up getting up and going downstairs. Okay, so before he had went downstairs, he had wanted me to download the Roku app because he couldn't find his remote control. So he wanted me to download the Roku app. And so I downloaded the Roku app or whatever, but it didn't work because I needed to be connected to the same Wi-Fi. Now, background. When our first date happened and all that shit happened or whatever, I ended up finding out who his ex-girlfriend was. I ended up finding her Twitter for some odd reason. I ended up finding out the girl fucking Twitter. And so, so when we was passing, I didn't initially know that was her. Because she didn't look the same as in her pictures or whatever. So he ended up coming back upstairs with, a bottle. And he's like, let's take a shot, da-da-da. And I'm like, I don't really drink like that no more. Which at that time, I really was not drinking. And so I'm like, no, I don't want nothing. So he just like kind of like trying to like still kind of pressure me into drinking or whatever. So he was like, damn, do you want to smoke? And I'm like, nah, I don't want to smoke. I'm chilling. So he ended up going back downstairs. And before he went back downstairs, well, as he was walking downstairs, I'm like, I need the Wi-Fi to be connected. So he gives me the Wi-Fi. Now, the girl name, we're going to give her name Tia. Her name is Tia. His name is TJ. So the Wi-Fi name was her name and his name. Tia and TJ Home. So I'm like, is this the same bitch? So I couldn't. So while he's downstairs, I'm trying to look for the bitch Twitter, but I could not remember the bitch Twitter name. So I had to go through me and my homegirl text messages to see like what her shit was. I go to the fucking Twitter. It's this bitch, the same bitch that I just passed by and said hey to, and she talking about some what's up. That's her. It's her. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck do this nigga got going on? So, I'm looking at her Twitter. So, like, when you walk up to the top of the steps or whatever, like a little foyer area, it was like a little round mirror and a fluffy chair. Her profile picture on Twitter was taken in that damn mirror and that chair. So, everything confirmed. So, I'm like, this is definitely her. So, I text my homegirl. I'm like, girl, fucking TJ, I don't know what the fuck he got going on. He just brought me to his crib on some, like, trying to be on some cool shit or whatever. But he got this bitch here. So, I'm like, I'm about to fucking leave. But I need you to call me. Like, you need me right now, right? Because I gotta find an escape. Because I'm like, if I just be like, oh, I want to leave, I don't want to be here no more. Like, he gonna think some shit. Like, I don't know how. Like, bitch, it's 2 against 1. So he come back upstairs. He was like, damn, like, why you don't want to take a shot or whatever, da da da. So I'm like, I'm turned off now. I'm like, not feeling it, bitch. I'm stiff as fuck. So I'm just like, I don't want to drink. Like, what the fuck you keep trying to feed me liquor? I'm trying to chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? So my homegirl ended up calling me. This bitch, Lex, is crazy. Lex ended up calling me crying. And so it's quiet in the room. So I turned my volume up so he can fucking hear, bitch. So she's like crying. I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Like, it almost, like, bitch, I started crying because, bitch, we so in the fuck. So, girl, me and my homegirl, we are so fucking in character. Like, I had kind of got lost in the fucking plot because, bitch, I started crying. So, like, while I'm on the phone with him, like, while I'm on the phone with her, he's laying across the bed, and he like huffing and puffing and all this shit or whatever. And so I'm like, I gotta go, whatever. I'm about to call me an Uber, whatever. I gotta leave my house, like, some shit going on with my homegirl. I don't know what's going on. And so, he like, man, you want some weird shit. So I'm like, what's weird about me fucking wanting to go, like, cater to my friend, comfort my friend? Like, she's crying. I don't know what's going on right now. So, like, I'm about to leave. I'm about to call me Uber. He was like, you ain't gonna be able to get an Uber over here because it's new construction. The address ain't, whatever, right? So he was like, I'm just gonna take you home. So in the car, like, I'm trying to just keep it cool because I'm just like, I don't know what this nigga is on for real. So I'm just like, I have to play it fucking safe. So I'm just like, what's your issue, whatever? He was like, man, you just on some weird shit, man. I ain't even gonna speak on it, whatever. And I was just like, how you mad that I want to go to my friend to, like, make sure that she's okay? She's fucking crying. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He was like, man, ain't no wrong with your friend or whatever. And I was like, bro, like, did you not just hear her crying? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So this nigga speeding in the car. He's speeding. Now his house and my old house is like literally like 7 minutes apart. So like he's speeding down this fucking road or whatever, bitch. I'm just like, is this nigga about to run us off the goddamn road because he's pissed because his plan that he probably had in his head didn't fucking like work, I guess. Like, I don't know. But like after that, he took me home, dropped me off. I called my homegirl. I'm like, bro, this nigga just tried to set me up again with this bitch. Like, bro, what the fuck? And so her and I just talking about it. And then after that, I've never, ever spoke to that nigga again. Like, I don't know what this nigga was on. I don't know what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to, like, get me, like, fucked up. Trying to, like, maybe spike that liquor to get me, like, out of my mind. So him and that girl could do something to me. I don't know what that was, but it was so fucking weird. And then I feel like you as his girlfriend, how you allow him to bring a bitch to your crib and be okay with it? Like, what did y'all have in mind to do? Like, and why are y'all out for me? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, y'all, like, that is my dating horror story of talking to a nigga from Atlanta. And this is why I don't deal with niggas that was born and raised in Atlanta at all. Like, I feel like they all are weird as hell. Like, they just all get me dirty and just vibes. Like, and I'm going, and I ain't gonna lie, no shade, but yeah. Bitch, up fucking date. So why the nigga that I just did a story time about text my phone and was like that I'm capping in my story time? He never tried to set me up. He said, what do you have that I want to set you up about? And you fuck with me a million times after that. So I text him and I said, what's cap about my story time? You don't think that was you setting me up? And I never fuck with you after the situation when you brought me to your home with you and your bitch. So he said, well, I never sent you $700. Looking back at the cash apps, you're right. It wasn't $700. I did get the numbers confused with somebody else that I did have a date with at Cheetah. But that's another story time for another day. It was $500. And I'm going to insert that in this video as well, along with the text messages from that night. So when we first had our first date and your ex-girlfriend come in and she steal my stuff and she takes yours and she takes a picture of my social and my ID, that didn't give off setup. Because put yourself in my shoes. If you came to my house and my ex-boyfriend did that, you would look at me like I'm some type of lineup ass bitch. Am I tripping? Then the second situation, you bring me to your crib with you and your bitch, and on top of that, when I seen her, you didn't even introduce, me to her, which it wasn't like a thing anyway. Like, I didn't really care. But, like, you trying to feed me liquor, trying to get me lit or whatever, that wasn't given set up. You bringing me to a crib with you and your bitch. For what? Am I tripping? So anyway, like I said, I had to call my homegirls because I had to get the messages between me and her from that night or whatever. Because I didn't have it in my phone no more because my messages delete after a year. So I had to get it from her. So in the next slide, y'all going to see the blue is her and the gray is me texting her. So yeah, y'all, I'm scared for my life, but I'm going to post this video for just in case purposes. But yeah. So as y'all just read the interaction between me and my best friend Lex or whatever, I'm trying to tell her who I'm with, but she's like, that's not ringing a bell because I hadn't really been like speaking to him or whatever. It just hadn't been anything. So I'm like, TJ, ATL nigga, the dirty nigga. It's the reason behind those names, but I ain't telling no more story time. I told y'all I'm scared for my life, y'all. But like for you to sit there and say that it wasn't on no setup vibes, then what was it? Because why would you even bring me to a crib with you and your girl? Then try to, like I said, like feed me with liquor. So what did you think was going to transpire that night? What did you think was going to transpire? Like, and then for you to get so upset that I left, why was you so mad? Like, am I missing something, y'all? Like, tell me if I'm tripping, because what was you upset about that? My friend called me, and she's crying, and she needs me, and I need to leave. Why was you upset? And why was I a lame-ass bitch, and I'm being weird? Like, why was all of that? Why? So anyway, yeah, I'm done with this story time. I told you I'm scared for my life. So this is it on this story time. I might talk about it one day on live. I don't know. But, yeah, bye, y'all. Good night. So story time. So y'all know that I used to work in the club for about 6.5 years. I'm officially done. I hung my jersey up for real this time. I didn't retire. Well, I thought I was retiring like 3 other times, but end up getting bored, end up going back. But like officially, I'm 25 now, and I started working in the club when I was 18. I always said once I turned 25, I was officially done. So the jersey's hung up. I know. So, and also too, like the money is not the same. Like I can't speak for other cities and stuff like that because I done worked in Miami and the money is good as fuck. But as far as Atlanta, how the money used to be when I used to before COVID, on average I was making about $700. That's just on average. That's not even a good night. Like I'm bringing home $700. That's after tip out. Versus now you will be happy to make $300-400. Like honestly. And so, and I didn't work at a lot of big clubs in Atlanta. I got clientele, like, so, you know, like it's an argument, like, oh yeah, it depends on what club you work at, and like, you know, how you sell sections. I always sell sections every fucking week. So, but like I said, like the money's just not the same. Nobody is having the money that they used to have, and I'm not even going to count in COVID because COVID was just like a different era. Of course, I was making a lot of bread during COVID. Like it was just like an unusual amount that, you know, I was touching at least $1,200 average a night. Average. So before COVID happened, I was working at Buckhead Loft. So Buckhead Loft had the same management and owners as Zari. So when COVID happened, everything like closed down and stuff like that, Buckhead Loft had never opened their doors or whatever. So, and Zari had opened up and whatnot. And so I wasn't working. I didn't work for a long time when everything opened back up. I was definitely outside partying every night, and I'm seeing people popping bottles I ain't never seen before. People just spending money I ain't never seen before, and I'm just like, should I go back to the club? So crazy. One day, one of the managers from Zari ended up calling me, asking me to come fill in for somebody, and I was only just supposed to work that one day, and I ended up I was the money that I made. I was like, oh, put me on the schedule for the rest of the week, and so he did. So I started working, and everything was going good. Everything is everything. And so leading up to when we all got fucking fired, so me and my homegirl, we had like a little system, and I think this bitch put everybody on to the fucking system that me and her was doing, allegedly. And bitch, we all got fired that night. That's another story time for another day. I'm gonna get to that though. So ended up getting fired. So like while I was working there, it used to be like another owner from another club that used to come in there every Tuesday, and he used to always request me. So we kind of like built like a little, you know, relationship. Like, you know, I always know that Tuesday I'm going to make some good money for sure from him because he's going to call me. He's going to request me. And I got that secured. So when I got fired, whatever, I reached out to him and I'm like, hey, like, I need a new job. Like, Zari just fired me. I tell him what happened and shit like that. He was just like, that's crazy. And it was also like some other shit they was trying to do with trying to revamp their whole staff or whatever. But I also would get into that in another later story time. So yeah, I ended up started working at this club or whatever. I was doing hookah. So mind y'all, when I started working in the club, I was 18. So by that time, I was working at his spot. Being that I wasn't over 21, I wasn't 21. He started me out doing hookah. So doing hookah, making good money, everything is going good. And so now I'm kind of taking a little liking to him or whatever because like he's cool as fuck, right? So now, you know, we getting involved. Yes, we started getting intimate or whatever. Worst fucking mistake that you can fucking make in the club. Let me fucking tell you. If you work in the club, listen, do not talk, date, fuck your owners at all. The shit goes fucking left really fucking quick. Okay? So before, you know, while I was working at the other club, whatever, him and I, you know, we would talk or whatever, but like I was also in a relationship, so it wasn't like anything like that. It was strictly like business. That's it, right? But I knew that he liked me, but I just never like, you know, gave it that much attention or whatever. I never gave it attention at all, actually. And so, so when I started working from him and everything like that, you know, me and him are obviously getting more closer, you know, we talked on the phone a little bit more. Like, I'm just like, damn, you actually are cool as fuck, right? And when I was working at the club, most of everybody that I worked with, like all the other girls, we all pretty much live really close to each other. So we'll always carpool. Sometimes he'll pick me up, take me to work, and he'd be like, you don't have no reason to be late to work, so I'm coming to get you, because he literally stayed like a couple minutes away from my apartment. So, so yeah, we just, you know, we started being really, really cool. And so, so now, you know, I'm starting to take somewhat of a liking to him. So we, you know, we started, you know, dating or whatever. So he used to always post this damn baby, and he used to refer to this child as his damn, well, he used to tell me that this was his nephew, but come to find out, it was, his fucking kid. Didn't care that he had a kid at all, but the fact that he lied about it being his nephew and it was really his child, it was just like, what the fuck? So, yeah, that kind of had turned me off from him or whatever. So, like, I'm really just not really, like, fucking with him for real like that. So, I started talking to somebody else. He didn't have, like, dealings with a couple whatever. So, I jumped into, like, that little situation. I'm dealing with this person or whatever. And he started getting jealous when I'm talking to customers and shit like that. And one of these promoters that worked at our club or whatnot, I knew this promoter liked me, but it literally wasn't nothing but just the club. Like, I wouldn't even talk to him outside the club at all. But he knew that this promoter liked me, and so he started making up shit in his head like, oh, you fuck with him. I'm like, no, I don't fuck with him. I fuck with somebody else, but I don't fuck with him. So now the nigga is starting to fuck up. He's starting to play with my money, right? He's starting to not put me on the good days or whatever. He's starting to not put me on my Mondays, because Mondays was my nights or whatever, because Mondays was more like an American night, and I used to bring in my little crowd or whatever, or not crowd, but like I used to bring in the niggas that I know would spend the money, right? And we used to have dancers on that day too. So, you know, I'm just bringing in niggas that I know that's going to throw some money, and they're going to pop bottles, right? So now he's starting to, you know, be jealous or whatever. And I'm just like, what are you jealous for? Like, you and I don't really talk no more. So, like, what's the fucking issue? So, like I said, I was doing hookah at his spot or whatever because I was under 21. I think when I started working, I was 20. I was 20. I was 19 turning 20, so whatever. Anyway, I wasn't 21. So I started off doing hookah or whatever. So now I'm telling him like, hey, like I want to start waitressing or whatever. So he let me waitress one day, and then the next day, well, the next fall. So the following week, he ended up putting me back on hookah, and I'm telling him like, look, I do not want to do hookah no more, bro. Like, I'm selling more sessions than your bottle waitresses, and y'all even called that out when we are in our pre-shift meeting. So why not put me on the floor? I can't pull this damn hookah too much. I have fucking asthma. Put me on the fucking floor. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna think about it. So fuck it. I ended up asking one of the other owners, because it was 3 owners. I asked the other owner, and he was like, well, ask him. And I was like, no, bro, I'm asking you. So he was like, oh, I'm gonna give you a shot. Didn't give me a shot, right? And so I ended up quitting, and I ended up start working at Halo. I worked at Halo like around right before Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend happened. Probably worked for a couple more weeks after that. And then the club ended up getting shut down because like a situation happened, a brawl, whatever, and they got shut down. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta go back to the club. So I go back, but I'm like, if I come back, I am waitressing. So they was like, fuck it, the other owner that I went to go ask his brother, he was like, I'm gonna give you a shot. Why the first day I get fucked up or whatever, I just knew that I was fired, but they was fucking with me, so he was just like, don't do that shit again. I got cussed out real bad. He's like, don't do that shit again. So started working, everything is going good. And so this one night or whatever, I had booked 4 sections for this night. And this night we had closed a little bit earlier than like we normally close or whatnot, because I think it was a Sunday. And so, you know, my other 3 sections are there, they're partying or whatever, but I was still waiting on my last section to pull up. It's probably around 2:30, right? So 2:00, 2:30. So, you know, the owners, they asked me like, where's your section or whatever. I'm like, well, he just left this other club, like he's on the way now. And I knew that this table was coming because he had already gave me a $400 deposit. So it's like, why would he not show up? So I guess because my table didn't show up at the time that the owners wanted him to show up, they end up moving my table downstairs to a way smaller table. Mind you, this was a party of 14. They replaced my table with a promoter table. Promoters do not pay for bottles. They do not pay for hookah. They're supposed to tip. So why would you move my money table why would you move my money table downstairs for a promoter that don't pay for anything? So now we going back and forth about that. I'm like, you need to move him back upstairs or whatever. So I'm like, what the fuck we gonna do? Like, are you willing to give up your table for my table to sit right there? He's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just like, what the fuck we gonna do? So now the nigga that came in and he's just like, this table's too small. I need my money back. Like, so I'm just like, the deposit is non-refundable. And if I had it on me, I would have gave it to him, but I already gave it to the owner. So it's like, it's out of my hands. So he ended up leaving. So I'm like, damn, I got to replace this table real quick because I got to make some little extra money. So I ended up calling my boyfriend. My boyfriend ended up pulling up. So everything's good, whatever. Got that money. And so now, like, it's the end of the night, whatever. So usually, like, when everybody's left out the club, so it usually be, like, maybe, like, a few owner friends and, like, you know, like, a few other people, right? So my boyfriend and a couple of owner friends and stuff like that, they're in there chilling because that's something that, you know, we normally do. So I guess the hookah boy had a bad night this night. It's so much going on this night. The fucking security guards are arguing with this other customer because they got a gun mixed up. They gave his gun to somebody else and they gave him a gun of somebody else. So all that's going on. The hookah boy, he's asking for the hookah because he wants to clean up or whatever. But, you know, my boyfriend had just not too long got there, so he's trying to smoke his hookah. Hookah boy snatched the damn hookah out his damn mouth. So now I'm just sitting there, I'm counting my money, and I'm just like, oh, shit, like, I know this finna go bad. So I'm just sitting right there. And so they're going back and forth or whatever. My boyfriend and his homeboy, they're arguing with the hookah boy. It got escalated. They was about to fight, security breaking up and whatever. So I'm sitting down because I'm just like, I'm not about to involve myself in a men's situation. Like, y'all got security guards for that and whatever. So I was sitting right there. I'm just looking or whatever. So so while I went to go check out, one of the managers, he came to me, was like, he cannot come back. Tell his ass that he cannot fucking come back. If he come back, that you're fired. Going the fuck off on me. And then one of the other owners was yelling at me. So one of the owners that I used to always get into it with or whatever, after the manager gave me the spiel about my man not being able to come, and if he come, then I'm fired, he came behind him and said pretty much the same thing. So that night when I went home, I told my man, like, hey, they said, like, you cannot come back. Do not bring your ass back. If you bring your ass back, I'm going to be fired. So he called him up. He called them up that very fucking second and was like asking what was said. And they whole tune changed. Like, it was like, oh, no, it's not like that. Like, you're good. You could come back. Like, whatever. And I'm just like, y'all are scary as fuck. So I guess, like, the next day or whatever, we always have pre-shift meetings before, we start working. And so I guess the managers had mentioned that I was suspended for a week. So one of my homegirls had told me that, oh, like, did you know that you were suspended? I was like, no, nobody never told me that you was suspended. I mean, that I was suspended. So I ended up calling up the owner that I used to have dealings with. And I'm like, hey, am I suspended? And he was like, yeah. And, like, nobody called you and told you. And I was like, no, I just found out from one of the waitresses. So he was like, yeah, you're suspended because after we looked at the cameras, you didn't try to prevent that situation. And I was like, well, what was I supposed to do? Why the fuck did y'all think that I was supposed to break up a fight between 3 men? He was like, man, you just sat right there and you laughed. I did because it was funny at first, and then until the shit got serious. But what was I honestly supposed to do? Like, you know, y'all got security for that. So I got suspended because I didn't break up a fight between three men. So whatever, right? So I'm just like, okay, y'all definitely on some weird shit. I'm like, I gotta start looking for a new job. So, um, maybe like that following week, I ended up going in there because one of the promoters had invited me to come out. So I come. So we never had like restrictions on our day off. Like it was never a thing that we couldn't go in the kitchen, we couldn't go in the office, we couldn't go in the hookah room on our day off. So the one that I used to cuss out all the time, I go into the kitchen. He followed me in the kitchen. And he's like, you can't be in the kitchen. You're not working today. You can't be in the kitchen. So I'm like, get out of my face. So that was that or whatever. Him and I get into it or whatever, and like he be drunk, and whenever he be drunk, they never hold him accountable for his actions. It's always, oh, you know how he is, or don't pay him much mind. But it's like the shit that he be saying and what he do, like he be dead ass wrong. Like how you expect me not to say anything about it? So end up, leaving or whatever. That was that situation. So fast forward to the big shebang. So I'm just now coming back from this interview, right, at this club, this big club out here in Miami. And, I had my little interview or whatever, and basically, so I go in, I have to go through fucking TSA. I'm talking about, I scan a little they told me to scan this QR code, and like, once you go into like the little website or whatever, you have to scan your face, scan your ID, then enter like your information, like your name, address, and email address, whatever. All right, cool. Then they take copies of my physical ID. Don't know why. Then ask questions. Then I have to sign a waiver saying basically like, okay, if you get killed or you get hurt, we ain't responsible. All right, anyway. So, talk to dude, whatever. And so basically after that, he's like, yeah, it's a no for me. Basically because, you're a little thicker than what we like, and you have stretch marks, and that you have a lot of visible tattoos. All right, cool. I was okay with it's a no first, but you went into detail. I was like, wait a second, I ain't never had nobody tell me no shit like that, but it's cool. It's a majority white club, so I really wasn't banking on getting that job, but I was just like, fuck it, like, let me just go. So, and also too, like, I'm just like, the whole interviewing thing is not something for me. Like, I haven't been to an interview for a club in so long. Like, I've been working in the club for a while, and I only went to one interview. Any club that I worked at, I always knew somebody, or I always got put on, and I was just like able to work. So the whole little interview thing is like new for me. So yeah, I'm just like, the fuck? Okay. Yeah, so if you come into Miami and you want to work in these big clubs like 11, Mr. Jones, Live, and so forth, and you black, please do not waste your time. You're not going to get hired unless you know somebody in there, or you. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm not, but more power to you. But yeah, like, just stick, if you black, just stick to the urban clubs, like Booby Trap, The Office, any club in Fort Lauderdale, 24, whatever. Like, stick to those, because any of the big clubs, you're not about to get in if you're black. So yeah, like, I just wanted to tell y'all my little experience or whatever, like, because I'm actually like shocked, like, the fuck, Miami really is like racist as hell. I don't even know if it's racist or them just being the colors, because it is a black girl that do work there. I only have seen one black girl, but she's like super, super skinny, but whatever. If you're trying to get in the clubs, don't waste your time.